Hello to all our dedicated viewers. First off, I want to express my sincere apologies for the brief hiatus in our content. Life sometimes throws unexpected challenges our way. I've always aimed to bring you new, thought-provoking content weekly, and I appreciate your patience as we navigate through these interruptions. Today, we venture into a topic that diverges from the usual narratives explored on this channel. We're delving into the complex and often murky waters of war. For many, war is a distant concept known, yet not intimately felt. It conjures images of heroism, sacrifice, and, inevitably, loss. Yet, beneath the veneer of national duty and collective endeavor lies a stark reality. War, in its essence, mirrors the act of murder, amplified on a global scale. The analogy might seem jarring at first. Murder is a term we reserve for the unlawful taking of life, often shrouded in malice, personal vendettas, or psychopathy. War, on the other hand, is sanctioned killing. It's draped in the flags of necessity, defense, and patriotism. But when stripped of these justifications, the line between war and murder blurs. Lives are still lost, families shattered, and the ripple effects of trauma and grief felt across generations. Moreover, within the theater of war, there exists an even darker subcategory: war crimes. These are not merely acts of murder, but represent a breach of the very laws and norms established by humanity to limit war's brutality. War crimes speak to a forbidden class of murder, where the scale of devastation defies comprehension. Millions perish, and countless more are left with scars, both physical and mental. As we navigate this exploration, it's crucial to remember that the objective is not to diminish the complexity of geopolitical conflicts or to oversimplify the motivations that lead nations to war. Instead, it's an invitation to view the acts committed during war through a different lens, to question the thresholds of morality and legality, and to ponder the heavy toll that war exacts on the human soul. In the annals of history, few events match the sheer scale of horror and inhumanity of the Holocaust. Between 1941 and 1945, under the regime of Nazi Germany, led by Adolf Hitler, approximately 6 million Jews were systematically murdered. This genocide, known as the Holocaust, stands as a stark testament to the depths of human cruelty and the devastating consequences of unchecked hatred and bigotry. Among the architects of this atrocity was a man not as immediately recognizable as Hitler or Himmler, but whose contribution to the machinery of death was indispensable: Otto Adolf Eichmann. Born on March 19, 1906, in Solingen, Germany, Eichmann grew up in a world shadowed by the aftermath of World War I and the rise of nationalist fervor. He joined the Nazi Party in 1932 and quickly ascended the ranks to become a senior lieutenant in the Schutzstaffel, better known as SS, the notorious paramilitary organization under Hitler. Eichmann's bureaucratic efficiency and ideological zealotry caught the attention of his superiors, and he was appointed to head the Gestapo's Department for Jewish Affairs, playing a pivotal role in the formulation and execution of the final solution, the Nazi plan to exterminate the Jewish people. As the overseer of the logistics that facilitated the mass deportation of Jews to ghettos and extermination camps across Europe, Eichmann's name became synonymous with the mechanized horror of the Holocaust. His work ensured the transport of millions to places like Auschwitz-Birkenau, Treblinka, and Sobibor, where they faced unimaginable atrocities. After the war, Eichmann fled to Argentina and lived under the alias Ricardo Clement until his capture by Israeli Mossad agents in May 1960. His subsequent trial in Jerusalem not only brought him to justice, but also forced the world to confront the chilling banality of evil, a term coined by political theorist Hannah Arendt, who reported on the proceedings for The New Yorker. That's the basics, but I will explore in more detail who this man was. Otto Adolf Eichmann's early life took a significant turn when his family moved to Linz, Austria, in 1914, a city later known for its association with Adolf Hitler. This relocation from Solingen, Germany, where he was born, planted Eichmann in the soil of post-World War I upheaval, a period marked by nationalistic fervor and economic instability. These formative years in Linz, amidst the rise of burgeoning anti-Semitic ideologies, undoubtedly played a role in shaping his worldview. Despite an unremarkable academic and vocational start, dropping out of high school and drifting through various jobs, Eichmann's path took a decisive turn when he joined the Nazi Party in April 1932. His enthusiasm for the party's ideology quickly propelled him into the ranks of the SS in 1933, where he began his career in the shadow of the Third Reich's burgeoning apparatus of persecution and control. Eichmann's early assignments were foundational to his later notoriety. Tasked with facilitating Jewish immigration from annexed territories, he established and managed the Central Office for Jewish Immigration in Vienna in 1938, following the Anschluss of Austria. This office became a model for similar operations in Prague and Berlin, demonstrating Eichmann's skill in bureaucracy and his commitment to the Nazi cause. By 1939, Eichmann had already made a name for himself within the SS's security service, SD tasked with managing the affairs of Jewish immigration and, later, deportation. His appointment to head Referat IVB-4 of the Reich's Security Main Office, RSHA, put him at the heart of the Nazis' racial policies. Eichmann's role in the Holocaust was solidified at the Wannsee Conference on January 20, 1942. As the recording secretary, he was responsible for the minutes of the meeting, which laid out the Nazi regime's methodical plan for the genocide of the Jewish people, euphemistically termed the final solution to the Jewish question. Eichmann's involvement in the conference underscored his central role in orchestrating the Holocaust, transforming him from a mere facilitator of emigration to a principal architect of mass murder. Following the Wannsee Conference, Eichmann devoted himself to implementing the final solution with zeal. He oversaw the logistics of ghettoization, deportation, and extermination, ensuring that Jews were transported from all corners of Europe to the death camps. His bureaucratic efficiency and detachment allowed him to view the victims as mere numbers, facilitating his role in one of the most extensive genocides in human history. Eichmann's efficiency was not born of innovation, but of a ruthless adherence to the principles of organization and bureaucracy. He applied the techniques of business administration and logistics to the process of genocide, demonstrating a chilling capacity to abstract the human cost of his actions. His work epitomized Hannah Arendt's concept of the banality of evil, where ordinary individuals commit atrocious acts through conformity to the bureaucratic apparatus and ideological indoctrination. The repercussions of Eichmann's actions are immeasurable. His ability to streamline and bureaucratize the process of mass murder significantly increased the Holocaust's efficiency and scale. Eichmann's legacy is a grim testament to the capability of a bureaucratic system to facilitate unspeakable evil when guided by a genocidal ideology. Following World War I, Adolf Eichmann managed to elude capture by Allied forces, ultimately settling in Argentina under an alias. His life in Buenos Aires came to an abrupt end in 1960 when Mossad agents, acting on intelligence gathered over several years, executed a covert operation to apprehend him. This operation was fraught with geopolitical risks, given Argentina's sovereignty and the potential diplomatic fallout. Despite these challenges, Eichmann was captured on May 11, 1960, and subsequently smuggled out of Argentina to Israel, marking a significant triumph for justice and the culmination of years of tireless effort by those committed to holding Nazi war criminals accountable. The trial of Adolf Eichmann commenced on April 11, 1961, in Jerusalem, a proceeding that captivated global attention. Charged with crimes against humanity, war crimes, and membership in an enemy organization, among others, the trial provided a platform not only for the prosecution of Eichmann, but also for the broader exposition of the Holocaust's atrocities. Testimonies from survivors and the presentation of extensive documentary evidence painted a harrowing picture of the systematic extermination orchestrated by the Nazis, with Eichmann playing a central role in this machinery of death. The trial was a watershed moment in the collective memory of the Holocaust, fostering a renewed understanding of its horrors and the mechanisms by which they were carried out. On December 15, 1961, Eichmann was found guilty on multiple counts and sentenced to death, a verdict that underscored the gravity of his actions and the importance of accountability, even years after the crimes were committed. His execution, by hanging on June 1, 1962, was the only time the State of Israel has carried out a death sentence, highlighting the unique and extraordinary nature of his crimes. Eichmann's trial and execution did not merely represent the closure of a single chapter in the pursuit of justice for Holocaust victims. It also emphasized the enduring need to confront and prosecute the perpetrators of genocide, regardless of the passage of time. This landmark case reinforced the principle of individual accountability for mass atrocities, setting a precedent for future prosecutions of war crimes and crimes against humanity. As we conclude this exploration into the life and crimes of Adolf Eichmann, a figure emblematic of the mechanized horror of the Holocaust, we are reminded of the profound depths of human cruelty and the capacity for systemic evil. Eichmann's story, from his rise within the Nazi hierarchy to his pivotal role in the genocide of millions and eventual accountability, offers chilling insights into the nature of evil carried out under the guise of bureaucratic duty and ideological fervor. For viewers of Deliberately Deadly, accustomed to delving into the minds and motives of serial killers, the story of Eichmann and the Holocaust presents a different dimension of human depravity. While serial killers often operate from personal motivations, driven by psychological factors or personal gratification, individuals like Eichmann participated in a state-sanctioned machinery of death, motivated by twisted ideologies and a perverse sense of duty to a genocidal regime. The similarity lies in the dehumanization of victims, a necessary mental leap to carry out such heinous acts, whether by a lone individual or as part of a collective enterprise. However, the scale and systematization of the Holocaust, with figures like Eichmann orchestrating the logistics of genocide, highlight a chilling manifestation of evil that transcends the individual, implicating entire systems and societies. It is a stark reminder of the need for vigilance against the ideologies that seek to justify such atrocities and the importance of holding individuals accountable, regardless of their role in the chain of command. As Deliberately Deadly continues to explore the darkest corners of human behavior, let the story of Adolf Eichmann serve as a reminder of the horrors that can ensue when hatred and bigotry are allowed to flourish unchecked. It is a call to remember the past, to educate future generations, and to stand firm in the defense of human rights and dignity against the forces of darkness and division. Thank you for joining us on this journey into history, psychology, and the ongoing quest for justice. Stay tuned for more explorations into the human psyche and the circumstances that lead to deliberate acts of deadly violence on Deliberately Deadly.